insurance work is very different than design work.
Yeah. It's not always the most glamorous of jobs.
Yes. No one told me I was going to be a guidance counselor.
Quite literally.
Quite literally.
Quite literally, you've taken the role as
quite literally
database. You're entering everything in. You're a designer.
It's funny how the things go together.
You are a therapist, a marriage and family therapist, probably at this point.
90% of it, probably.
Welcome back to At Home with Anderson Design Center, a podcast where we invite you into our showroom and we tell you all the tips, tricks, secrets, laughs, things that we experience as designers and design professionals here at Anderson Design Center. Today we are joined by Hillaire Long, one of our favorite, most fun personalities in the design world. Hopefully y'all will get to see that as we kind of transition through this podcast. But she does a lot of fun design projects, a lot of insurance-related work. She's got some projects recently that have won some awards, which is huge. She just recently started a fun little golf cart rental business, which we'll talk more about later. She's super involved in the community, and she is somebody that we are very, very proud of here. She's had a lot of growth personally in her numbers and all the things here at Anderson. So I'm excited for y'all to get to learn more about Hillaire and what she does. Just kick us off today, Hillaire, I'm going to ask you if your design style were a celebrity or a fictional character, who would it be and why?
That's tough.
It could be anybody. It could be anybody.
My go-to, I think, is like a Disney character.
And that's fun.
I don't know how much design work they do. I'm going to go with Carrie Bradshaw.
Carrie Bradshaw.
Yeah.
What about Carrie Bradshaw pulls you in?
I believe in investing in classic staple pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I can turn anything into a shoe closet.
Mm-hmm. I love Carrie Bradshaw, so I love where you're going with this.
I love layered textures, kind of like funky prints, and I think she kind of did that like very classically.
Yeah, yeah. And that's one thing I love about you. You've got this fun, funky personality. You've got this fun design taste, very outside of the box, very unconventional, but in the best way possible.
Thank you.
That still keeps design classic.
That means a lot. We're surrounded by talented designers here, so thank you.
Yeah, and so kind of going into that too, tell us a little bit about your backstory, because you didn't start with a degree in design. You didn't approach that first. This is what really became your passion later in life.
It was just a accidental, it's the weirdest thing. So I went to William Carey, my degree's in business, and I thought I was going to do like database management.
Which is so totally opposite.
That's what I thought my plan was going to be. And what's funny about that is exactly what I do.
It's opposite of design work, but
never imagined it in a design world. But
yes,
it is. That's what I do all day.
Yeah, and so you went to school for that, and then did you start working here right out of college? No.
Yeah, shortly thereafter. Okay. So I started out at another company doing some kitchen remodel, kind of like basic stuff, and one thing kind of led, and then Anderson does everything. So it was a natural next step. And then I just kind of fell into the other things I do. Yeah,
and that's what we've touched on pretty much in every episode so far, is that Anderson Design Center is pretty much a one-stop shop. There's so much here. And so we've touched on renovations, we've touched on furniture, we've touched on how Johnny's kind of elevated our renovation business, how Carol's done the showroom, how Gwen and Paige have, been here, or they've been in the industry for 20 plus years, 30 plus years.
A lot of experience here.
And all the great experience that we do have in-house. But one thing that we don't really talk about much, but it's a huge industry for us, is insurance-related jobs. And so you handle a lot of our insurance-related jobs.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about how you got into that, how that started, and really kind of what that looks like for you.
So, we're a flooring store, so naturally, you have your walk-in people who randomly have some water damage. I think everyone in South Mississippi knows about an AC leak.
It happens.
But for us, because we have the remodel and the renovation group, we were able to kind of start picking up some of the other repair things that are a little bit harder to manage. So that one-stop shopness kind of applies to everything.
Yeah.
Insurance work is very different than design work.
Yeah. It's not always the most glamorous of jobs.
Yes. No one told me I was going to be a guidance counselor.
Quite literally.
Quite literally.
Quite literally, you've taken the role as
quite literally
database. You're entering everything in. You're a designer.
It's funny how the things go together.
You are a therapist, a marriage and family therapist, probably at this point.
90% of it, probably.
But that's okay. That's what that happens in every design job, but I'm sure in your case, there's a little more pressure on some things because 99% of the time when somebody calls you or when you get that that lead or however you get that situation, those people aren't prepared for what's coming.
They're not. And I think that no matter what category you fall in, whether you're looking for a remodel or whether you're like, you know, maybe in your starter home, like it doesn't really matter where you fall. I think like panic kind of hits you. There's a natural, I don't know, maybe like a distrustingness of the process because if you don't understand it, it can be like very convoluted. And so it just kind of worked out to, if one person was kind of, you know, dealing with the adjusters and like documenting correctly, that's a big part of it. Then there was the ability to help people. I mean, it sounds cheesy, but it's the truth because it's very overwhelming.
Yeah. So essentially, tell me kind of how your process works because I'm not 100% sure. So let's say, you know, for example, like I know Lindsay recently redid her kitchen. Her kitchen, she came home from an Ole Miss game and her kitchen had flooded.
That's right.
So let's say somebody gets home from a weekend trip and their kitchen's flooded or their bathroom is flooded or maybe not flooded, but there's some standing water or there's obviously some damage that's taken place. How does that get to you?
I would have told you a million times exactly how the process worked, and then I came home and my own AC had leaked and I had no idea what to do. I was like, it's a Sunday, do I call the AC guy? Do I call like somebody at work?
I feel like that's where some of that panic comes in because it's like it takes you by surprise and
who's going to fix it? You know,
where do you start?
Yeah. So what exactly needs to happen is, first of all, always need to contact your insurance. Typically your insurance is going to have a relationship with somebody in the area and they can kind of get you started with what to do next. We are what they call a PSP. It's a preferred service provider for a good number of insurance. I can't name drop, I don't think, but we do a lot of their work here. And because of that, we've been able to kind of shorten. I'm not going to say make it easier because the whole process is not
all
easy.
Over the place. I know just from hearing you being next to my office now, I know that you deal with a lot of phone calls.
Yeah, a lot of phone calls. But we try to make it as easy as possible because we forget sometimes that this is someone's home.
And they didn't plan for this.
There's something emotional that happens when your house is torn up. And when you're looking forward to a renovation, it's different because it's like part of the progress. When it's insurance, it's like you feel like someone just snatched it out from underneath you.
Like your house is your safe place. Your home is your safe place. And you've now got
now it's torn up. And who do you know, who's going to pay for this? And, you know, how much am I going to be out of pocket? And how do you make sure that the work is done correctly? So the different programs that the insurance is assigned through, which no matter who you are, your insurance is going to have a method of doing that. They hopefully can guide through the process. And that's what I've tried to do here is be able to handhold and it's going to be okay. I have 100% success rate of putting it back together.
Which is awesome. So the insurance company contacts you and then, or in a way, and then you go from there.
Either or. I do have a lot of people that maybe we did their flooring before. And so we were their first call. But no matter where you are in the process, if it starts feeling overwhelming, we can help.
And so tell me kind of how, which I know you've kind of joked that you did become a guidance counselor. How do you kind of deal with those emotions? Because I know, and that's one thing too, like, you know, just talking with Johnny and Lindsay about renovations, there's some things that people are still not prepared for. Like I know I gave them the story of recently one of, I think it was one of Paige's jobs. They ripped out a shower and there was wood, and the wood was rotted to its core. And so that was obviously unexpected, but you started the renovation process. You've already got some demo in there. You've already got a match. You've already in your head said, okay, I'm going to be out of my bathroom for this many weeks. So you've had that prep. How do you handle, you know, somebody's in a little bit of a disarray. They are unexpectedly out of their kitchen or out of their house.
You've got to be compassionate, but more importantly, you have to be able to help find them information. Information does a lot for people feeling a little bit better. It's hard in what we do because there's such a lengthy process to get to a claim amount. So there's a lot of hurry up and wait. I mean, there is a lot of that.
Which is hard.
You're not getting any contact. There's not really a lot of people to call directly. You get letters and statements and these words. Like, what do these words mean? I don't know if I could still tell you what a deductible is, except for that it's money you're not going to get.
And so that's just, I guess, part of talking people through, you know, this is unexpected, but we're going to get you from A to Z, and we're going to try to do it not seamlessly, not
you gotta make
beautifully,
the most of it.
but we're gonna try to make this the best process
you gotta make the
that
most
we
of
can.
it. It's got to happen
With
anyway.
your situation.
Yeah,
Yes.
you gotta do what you can to make it enjoyable. Like, we're putting floor back, so let's think about what you like.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a good opportunity to go on and consider a remodel, renovation, revamp, whatever, even paint.
Yeah.
That maybe you had been procrastinating on because it's so much stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't realize how much stuff you have until you move it all out.
Oh, yeah.
So people put off.
I was like, do you have a good bit of customers or people that you're working with that end up doing more? Like, it's maybe that just a flooring replacement,
I would say
they end up doing
I
more?
would say and the reason, part of that is because I encourage them to think about it like that. If we're
Like
already removing everything out of here, do you want to go on and fix that part of the ceiling? Do you want to go on and,
while there's
change
people
doors?
in your house, while there's people pulling up your floors or
while your furniture
whatever
is safe
it might
over
be,
there. And,
you might as well, just because, I mean, at the end of the day, a renovation process at all is tough as far as living.
You don't want to do
life.
it twice.
No, and you don't live normal life in that way. And a lot of people are busy and they're in and out of their houses, and which is one great thing about what you get to do, because people don't want to sit there all day and call the insurance company and call this and call that.
Well, they're never going to get anybody on the phone.
Yeah, and so that makes probably not the most fun thing for you to do, but however, you do a great job at it.
Thank you.
And so getting from there, so I know it's a lot. It's a long process, but it's something that we do. It's something that we do well.
We do. I don't think a lot of people realize that we do that. I think we have a great reputation for making things really pretty.
Yeah.
But we do a pretty good job of putting them back together too.
And I knew we did insurance jobs. I didn't know how many we did until you moved your office down here by mine. And
I stay on the phone
all day long. You're on the phone with this person or the adjuster or the customer, and I'm like, it's nonstop.
It's nonstop.
Which is crazy, but I mean, it's great that we're a source for people and they want to use us.
I like to feel like I'm helping people kind of move through the process. I do, because I understand how overwhelming it can be, but also how expensive it can get when it's out of control. Having one stop that can do all of the things helps make the most of your claim amount. It helps reduce the amount of time from start to finish, because you're not always waiting on somebody else. And it cuts down on mistakes. I mean, because everybody's kind of looking out for the next person coming in. It doesn't work like that in regular renovations, especially if you're self-contracting. You've got managing all these different types of people and personalities, and it's a lot. So we're happy to do that for people.
Yeah. So tell me, if somebody called you and they were like, Hillaire, I did not plan to renovate, but here we are.
They do it
here
every
we
day.
are. What's your best piece of advice? You start with, and they're like, look, Hillaire, I didn't plan this.
Learn to meditate. Do some yoga.
Calm down. Calm down.
Don't cycle down the Pinterest board.
Yeah.
Just hold on a minute. Go on and prepare yourself for some time, but be thinking about it like a peel the Band-Aid off situation. You're going to go through it. If we're going to do it, what would you like? And then let's see what we can get within that claim amount that would be the thing that you're like, oh, okay, actually I kind of like this floor. It's not so bad.
And that kind of brings me into my next thought / question. So when I was talking with Lindsay in the previous episodes, she asked her about Pinterest. And I said, sometimes there's a Pinterest trap. And she was like, I really try to use it as a resource. But I also hit on the fact of, sometimes it can be overwhelming to people, and they start pinning a million different styles and different things. And it's hard to hone in on, okay, well, do you like this or do you like this? Like, let's figure out what that common denominator is. So let's say somebody's got a dated house, for example, and the flooring is ruined, something happens, something leaks, and they need to redo their flooring, and they're going to update a couple, maybe cabinetry or some things like that. How do you, let's say that they're like, we want to go ahead and update these things while we're here. How do you kind of guide them in that process of helping them find their style and what they want to update to?
I depend on the other brilliant designers in this building 100%.
Yes, you use their resources.
One thing that makes insurance work different is that you're not building a retail ticket. It's not like, oh, I want that and I want that and I want this and this is how much it's going to be. We work backwards from a number. So
which is cool.
This is your claim amount. Let's look at things that are within it. And then I feel like it's all the time that one of my coworkers just found a new line or a new product that just always is within budget. We try to mix it up and have a little bit, like maybe you can get a little pizzazz in one thing, but we'll be conservative in something else.
Which I guess that is really nice too that we do it all in house because then you have more
you
flexibility.
You have this beautiful showroom with everything
you
in it.
You have more flexibility to say I'll splurge on the floors, but I know like I need to save a little bit on the countertops, or vice versa to kind of fit that number.
And it's an opportunity sometimes for people. Maybe the flooring or the product that they had was not good for their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like if you buy a house and it has hardwood, you're not going to take up hardwood to put down a vinyl floor.
Yeah.
But if you have 6 kids,
but you may want to
think about it. Floor's coming up now.
I mean, I know like laminate's always kind of been an iffy word, but they make some beautiful laminate products now too.
Laminate's come a long way. So that is one of those things that it got a bad rap because of the waterproofedness.
Yeah.
And then, but laminate is the most dense of the floors. I mean, it's harder than a hardwood.
Oh yeah.
They've given it both topical water resistance and also like in the product. So you don't have the moisture concerns that you used to have. And then also it's just really good looking. I mean, they've found a way to, so it's a nice compromise, especially if somebody maybe their claim amount is not a huge one.
Yeah.
That's a lot of what I do here is work within a tight budget.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a small budget, but it's not going to give a lot within that. So,
and the laminate typically is a really great look for a lesser cost.
It's beautiful
and it's sturdy. And I know like
that's
recently,
what I put in my house right now.
I'm about to say recently 100%. I've seen like with people that have
100%.
like kids or dogs or a kid might come through on a bike in the house, like those types of families.
I wish I remember that product, but they came. It was like during the pandemic or right after the pandemic, but the like reps were at home, right? They weren't like traveling to the stores. So the guy put the box of laminate, the like H2O or whatever it was the waterproof, in his swimming pool. And they like let it soak and hang out and float around. And then they like took it and made it and they installed it in some of the stores so they could see. And I was like, okay,
that's pretty crazy.
You got me.
Our reps come up with some pretty fun things to do. Like whenever they always make me nervous when they come in and they start drawing or like taking keys and scratching floor, or they pour like the red Kool-Aid,
the red wine on the sofas,
and the Kool-Aid on the carpet. I'm like, y'all stress me out, and I'm like, I would be scared to be at home myself doing all this, but hey, it works. That sells that's
our lives. You know, we're rough on stuff, and being able to clean it is great.
Yeah. So I, asked you your best piece of advice for somebody that's coming in. What would you say not to do? If there's one thing that you're just like, I know you're freaking out. I know this is crazy, but like, let's try to keep our cool. This
will actually sound crazy. Very first time that I consult down in the showroom, I tell people to just pretend everything is free. Just pretend everything is free.
Which some people would say you're insane.
Everybody's going to say I'm insane. They always look at me like that.
They're like, okay.
But what we're doing is not trying to figure out if this is the right product, not trying to figure out like if we can afford it. What we're trying to figure out is what you like.
Yeah.
What do you like?
Great piece of advice, yeah.
And then I know what we're looking for, and then I find it within the budget that we have.
Which is a skill in itself, because sometimes it takes a lot of tedious work, but it means that you care about your people and that they have what they love.
I don't like the idea that something bad happens and something you couldn't control and then you feel like you had to downgrade. So I do my very best to try and find something that's equal or better than. Sometimes we have the ability to, to put a nicer thing in, or something that's going to be more livable for them. So we try to make the most of that. And I think that with the variety that we have here, it's easy to do.
Yeah.
So.
And you started in our flooring department.
I did.
Right? So you started there. You have lots of knowledge, more so in flooring, cabinetry, countertops, kind of that area.
Probably way more in flooring and countertops. The types of products that we have down there, like you could get a college education. Yeah. And that actually is probably one of my things I would say don't do. Don't feel like you've got to know everything about everything. Yeah. That is our job to help you navigate the process. We've got a good, better, best scenario going on down there. So we don't do anything that would be like step down.
And with all the different designers too, it's like if you know a lot about flooring, I know Paige knows a lot about window treatments. So like if I have a question about window treatments, I'm going to Paige.
Absolutely.
Or if I have a question about the construction of a sofa, I'm going to Gwen.
If you got to match something, I'm your girl. Yep. I do a lot of matching.
It's great that everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, but it's so fun to see because it's like if you don't know how to do something or if you're questioning it, somebody here is really good at it, or they can tell you somebody else that's really good at it.
That's what I was saying about I rely heavily on my coworkers because which is
a blessing.
If it is, I've gotten so far out of the like design routine part of it that like sometimes I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So I have great resources.
But it keeps you busy and it keeps you going, and you seem like you love what you do.
I do love what I do.
It's been a year of growth. I know you've been really busy, and you've hit your milestones this year. I know you set some goals, and
we did $1 million worth of insurance business last year,
which is crazy. Which is, I guess you're like, oh, that's a lot of insurance jobs, but you're like, that's awesome. You know, we were able to
we have a
handle that and do that.
widespread. So we cover, a lot of people don't realize this either, but we actually cover up close to Jackson and all the way to the Gulf Coast.
Wow,
so I do
awesome.
get calls, particularly the rural areas where there's not storefronts that people can go into. So I get a lot of calls for those, and I mean, we have a pretty wide reach.
Yeah, and I know you have, great accessibility to the coast. You're recently engaged.
Yes,
I say
that's
recently,
One
but
year.
Nick lives on the coast,
Yeah,
so you kind of
Pastor
split
Shan.
your time a little bit.
Yes, which has been very helpful for like jobs that are halfway there.
Yeah, so that way you have more of that reach. You can travel more and
meeting adjusters in those areas and finding again like new ways to help because there are not a ton of flooring stores like what we have here.
No, not at all.
There's not.
No, not at all. But and so I know while we're saying meeting your milestones, $1 million is a huge. I know for Anderson's, we always
I was
we
just as shocked as everyone else.
We acknowledge our sales milestones, and it's great because that means that we want to do better for our customers. We want to do better for ourselves. We want to do better for the company.
Yeah.
We've grown so much over 43 years, and it's because of people like you and Paige and Lindsay and Gwen and, even the new ones like Lakin and myself that really help the company grow and do.
Everybody's got a different skill set, and Alan has been really great about letting different personalities be good at what they're good at. Kind of giving it a shot, see how like if you gravitate towards something that you love. Like I would have never picked insurance. Like who thought that was a good idea? But I do enjoy doing it, and I feel like I help people. It's expensive and hard, and Alan just was like, you know what, go for it. Don't cost me money.
I will never forget I started here as an intern when I was in school. I started here as an intern when I was in school, and I started with Carol, and I was helping her with furnishings, with the showroom, with fabrics and such, and I was here for 2 months. And I remember Kyle pulled me in his office, and he was like, you're good with numbers, and you like the design spot. He was like, I'm moving you. And so he moved me to the other side of the building.
The Anderson way.
And I thrived. And I was like, this is it. I worked with, and I loved working with Carol, but it was like when they put me with Lindsay and Kim, and I was able to make tickets and do different things. And it was like Elizabeth and Kim and Lindsay were always throwing different things at me. And
it's like a whole other world down there.
But I loved that they saw that in me, even as I think I was 19. I was 19. I just turned 19, and I was like, I'm young, and they saw that potential in me, and they moved me pretty much immediately where they thought I would
and share what they know, and
and that's pretty much been everybody's stories here. Somebody kind of started different. Yeah, we all grew up here. I'm growing up here, and it's like myself. We all started somewhere different though, and either Alan or Kyle or both of them saw a potential in us and pulled us.
They definitely took a gamble with me because I didn't have a background in design, and so coming in, I had really no idea what I was gonna do.
7 years later,
here we are.
4-ish years in insurance.
Yeah,
7
I think
years
so now.
here total, and you're rocking and rolling.
I was thinking about it the other day. I was trying to imagine like how many insurance jobs I've managed now, and I was like, it's in the hundreds, if not like thousands.
That's crazy.
Like I was looking at the number, because we don't get every job. Some of them I just go inspect. Some of them are like way beyond.
That's the reality of
it is, but I've seen a lot of things now, and that is equal across the board. People are wide-eyed and like
yeah. So another milestone for you, and I know you don't take a lot of credit for design work, but you did complete a phenomenal kitchen with an outside contractor. KraftMaid is one of our manufactured cabinetry lines that is nationwide.
Semi-custom, beautiful.
Yes, beautiful cabinetry, and they had a competition for the best kitchens or the top kitchens of 2024, and I remember I was submitting because you can only submit so many through the store in different ways, and so we were going through jobs, and I was like, y'all, we've got to submit Hillary's job. It's got to go. And it's it's modern, it's fun, it's funky, but I will never forget. I was like, it's going to win. It's going to win something. And sure enough, top 3.
Susan is the real
Susan's
designer
incredible.
there. So I'll make sure I
incredible.
give her credit for that. But the that project, when she came in and we first did our initial, there's this super poised lady. She's so put together.
I loved her. When I went to her house to take photos, she was fabulous.
She's fabulous. And then she said she envisioned it like Frank Lloyd Wright meets Brady Bunch.
Which I love.
And I felt like I could see it. I could see what she was talking about. I knew it. And she had this really great mid-century modern house. It was beautiful, huge windows. And just the way the house was laid out, it was just perfect for everything that we did. So I was very surprised, especially alongside I mean, it was a national competition.
Yeah. I mean, it was top 3 in the nation for Kitchens of 2024.
But it just really was outstanding.
Yeah.
She
and it was just so different. I think, too, there's been so many white kitchens, per se, recently. There's been so many, like,
people
white beige, off-white. And there's nothing wrong with that. I personally love a beautiful, clean feeling kitchen. But there was something so different and fun about that. It was just that modern slab front with the cool
mix
pole.
of modern and mid-century, which I think is mid-century modern.
Yeah.
So, but I think that it was, like, really unique because you see the same kind of, like, shaker, or, like...
You see a lot of... In the South, in South Mississippi, you see a lot of the same in people's kitchens.
Yeah. This was totally different. And everything in that kitchen was customized.
Yeah.
Everything in there. Yeah. So every drawer, everything that opened had a purpose. We knew it was going there. And that made it even more fun.
And I love the warmth of it. Like, the cabinets were warm, which
maple.
we don't
Everything
see a ton of. They were really
maple.
warm. They had the really sleek hardware. Yep. And then you threw in some color. Like, the backsplash tile was fabulous.
Her McCarty pottery, I have to always say it right. McCarty Party is what I always want to come up with. McCarty pottery is really what, like, was the color inspiration.
Because she pulled in, like, those jade colors, that warm nutmeg brown.
And it just, when we found that backsplash, it was it.
It was like,
just,
this is it.
We knew it. It looked like the McCarty pottery.
Oh, you did. You said it there. It looked like the McCarty pottery.
That's why I never say it. I'm like, that guy, the one?
Yeah, the McCarty pottery. But no, it's awesome. It's beautiful. And, I mean, y'all deserve, you and Susan both.
We worked on that for, I think, in the planning stages for almost a year.
Wow.
And then at least 6 months of demo, rewiring,
Yeah, it's a beautiful job. It deserved all the awards. So as much as you don't take credit for a lot of the design work,
Susan,
thank
you, Susan.
That was a cool one. Thank you, Susan. Shout out to Susan wherever she is. So another thing too, I know that as we've talked about your business growing and you growing, your numbers, but also growing in yourself as a person, as a designer, and your just all the different things. You've become really involved in the community, especially kind of like the downtown scene. And, tell me how that's kind of made a difference in you as a person and you as a business professional. Kind of tell me a little bit about that.
I think I participated in stuff downtown. Like, I would go to events and volunteer here and there. But when I started working here, I guess that was 2017. Alan's been a huge...
He's a big advocate for get involved.
Pillar of the community, in its definition. Mm-hmm. And so there was an absence, I think, of the next person coming up that was really going to be as involved as he was. And Anderson's contributes a lot, in sponsoring events and
We're
baseball and all the things. And teacher rugs, and it just goes on and on. But without somebody that's staying knowledgeable about what's going on and things
where the need is,
right? Exactly. Then you can't really be effective with that kind of stuff. And so I just started going to downtown association meetings and things that he was like, hey, you should go check that out. And it just kind of grew because it was a whole wing of people
which is awesome. And you've been able to make a lot of connections, a lot of long-lasting connections through that.
The doers. There's a group of doers in the downtown area.
Yeah.
But I worked on some cool projects. And
you did some of that through Leadership Pine Belt. I know you had some cool projects through Leadership Pine Belt.
Man, if you get the opportunity, you definitely do that. Leadership Pine Belt was a life changer for me, both professionally.
And I think for Kyle, too. I noticed Kyle,
professionally and personally.
And community involvement and professionally. I feel like both of y'all have seen a huge difference.
He worked, for the company, 17 years or something, 18 years, and then he did the Leadership Pine Belt. And it's the same thing. It's like when you live and work in a community all the time, but all you ever do is the same thing. Yeah. You never see these things.
Yeah.
And it definitely opened our eyes to some ways that we could help that were different than
what we typically do. Just the typical sponsorships here and there. Yeah. So we've been able to dive deeper, get more involved. But I mean, I know that's awesome, and it's got you busy. You're always going to different events, and
it's turned all the way back around into design work. So I started working with Habitat for Humanity to lightly furnish homes. We're not going in there and being crazy with it, but statistically, homeowners have a better success rate of managing the house, years into the mortgage. But a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
They buy that house.
I didn't know that. Huh.
It's not donated. Nobody gives it to them.
I did not realize that.
But just window coverings and rugs and things like that to make it feel like home.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started doing that, and I think we've done 4 of those now.
Wow, that's awesome. I knew we have done multiple.
That is the most rewarding thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
It really is.
You're helping furnish.
I pulled together. It's like HGTV, but like in a day. Like quick stuff. We do real quick, but we get donations of things. We provide. Anderson's provides some things. I get donations of other things like pieces of furniture stuff. Mm-hmm. We do a little bit of thrift shopping and upcycling and DIY, but it's been incredible, and the results are like.
Yeah.
I mean, even I'm impressed.
All in all, I'm about to say, all in all, it keeps you very busy. I'm like, between insurance jobs and your involvement in Habitat, I'm like, you stay running the roads. Like, you run the roads hot. And then on top of all of that, you'll have to tell us about your little golf cart rental business that you just started. Yeah. So
I didn't have enough to do. You
didn't have enough to do. So Crazy Hillaire over here started renting golf carts, and they all got fun.
It started all with the downtown stuff.
It did.
I started going to the stakeholder meetings and hearing that it was a thing that people really wanted. Mm-hmm. And as wild and different as it seems and feels, because it's like, oh, I do a little insurance and a little design work and then a little bit of golf cart.
A little bit of golf cart.
It's placemaking.
Yeah.
I like to create an atmosphere where people make memories and they like spend quality time together. Yeah. And so I worked on a couple projects downtown, both here through Anderson's, like renovations in historical houses, and then also helping a couple of businesses with their storefront, facade stuff. And then it's like every time I went down there, I saw a new mural, and I thought, okay, this is cool. Mm-hmm. And then I saw all the golf carts on the coast.
Yeah.
Like, they're crazy down there.
Oh, yeah.
These people are running wild. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, Anderson's is, I don't know, like, we have all of the ability to make something super awesome. Mm-hmm. So Clayton,
he's
an admin extraordinaire.
He's one of our design assistants. / photographer /
So we all work together on a Saturday. And Ryan, who works in our commercial IT a little bit, everybody wears a lot of hats around here.
Everybody wears a lot of hats.
She came up with a name. Mm-hmm. And we were like, Hub Buggy. That's perfect.
Hub Buggy.
And then Clayton and I were talking. You were there that too, I think.
I think so.
When we were talking, I was like, okay, so what does it look like, right? And he actually did the concept. I had like a brain fog. I couldn't, I knew I wanted to do it, but I couldn't see it. I was too close to the project.
Help you execute.
So, Clayton came up with the design, and once he came up with the visual, it was over. So, it seems like they're wildly different, but it's not. And I had a lot of help.
Yeah. So now you've got this fun, funky little place downtown where you rent golf carts. Yes. So for the people that don't know, you have a golf cart rental business in downtown Hattiesburg.
That's right.
They can pick up golf carts directly, and they can rent them for
That's right.
nights.
We do hourly. We do 4-hour blocks. You can do it overnight if you live within the golf cart district.
That's fun for when it's nice weather outside, because you can drive to Pocket Museum, or on Saturdays you can go to the little mimosa trails, Lucky Rabbit
shopping.
Yep.
You can do
But you can take them tailgating, so you can take them to the southern.
You can. So there's the golf cart district's huge.
I didn't realize that.
And it's,
I knew it was big, but I didn't know that you could get.
Well, it encompasses most of our really developed neighborhoods.
Midtown, that area.
Midtown, downtown, but it's enormous. People don't realize how big it is. And there's very few restrictions. The restrictions they have are for safety. Mm-hmm. Stay off of roads that are 30 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Just don't. Yeah. You can tell you shouldn't be on them in a golf cart.
Yeah.
But anyway, it really just kind of happened by accident. Yeah. And I swear, if it wasn't for those conversations that we had early on, just brainstorming, and I guess that comes from being surrounded by creative people, but. I don't know if we would have ever done it, but it worked.
And so all your golf carts have different skins on them, per se.
They have different themes.
An American flag,
got the flagship
one, and then so that's the flagship, American flag. And then do you have a USM one?
I don't have a USM one yet. That's the next thing we're going to work on, is getting something that's more of the school related. But I've got the pop cart, which is pop art themed, and it looks like cartoonish.
Very love it.
We just purchased an 11-seater.
Oh my gracious!
It looks like a vintage car.
It
is so amazing. So we're going to do tours and stuff downtown.
Oh, that's really cool. I went to Laurel a couple weeks ago, and they had golf cart tours. I thought that was a great idea.
It is such a great idea. And I was thinking, if Laurel has it, we can have it too.
We can do it. I love that. I think that's a lot of fun. So if anybody's headed downtown for a date night or a little stroll or USM
Come
game,
check us out at Hub Buggy.
Hub Buggy. Call
you can't
or
miss
text her.
us.
It's
We're
online. There's
the
a
bright
website.
yellow building across from the
Yes.
Singer.
Yes.
And you can see Clayton's design work in real life.
I love it.
Our Lisa Frank Malibu Barbie dream house on Front Street.
I love it. I love it. So people know where to find you. They can't miss it.
You can't miss it.
They can't miss it. All right. So as we're kind of starting to wrap up,
Okay.
I'm going to ask you for a design confession.
Ooh.
So is there a design trend that you secretly love? It could be controversial. It could be popular. It could be totally off the wall. Is there a design trend that you're like, this is
Okay.
I love
My
it.
trendy one is the color drenching.
The color.
I know that that's like the word everyone's saying right now.
I love color drenching.
It's
I'm
really
like, let's
cool.
paint the walls.
Let's paint everything
I'm trying
same.
to convince my husband to do it, and he's
I love it.
struggling. But we'll get there.
My not as cool one is carpet.
Carpet.
I love carpet.
That's very controversial, I feel like. That can
People
be very
hate carpet. They
controversial.
think carpet's dirty.
Mhm.
Carpet's not dirty. People are dirty.
Yeah, people are nasty. And it gets nasty that way. But so color drenching and carpet would be your
Carpet
two.
is great. I think
It would take me a little bit to hop on the carpet, but the color drenching is
Look,
you got me there.
people think that it's like, oh, I've got allergies. Well, carpet works as a natural air filter. It traps
Yeah.
stuff and holds it
Yeah.
down. So
Yeah.
instead of kicking it all up in your hard surfaces.
Yeah. And people don't realize they can layer rugs over carpet.
That's right.
Like
And
in a bedroom, it's beautiful to
it gives
have
you
your carpet
insulation.
and then your rug.
It's soft underfoot. It's
Mhm.
cleanable. It gives you some other ways to
Mhm.
spend money in the house if you
Yeah,
want.
because it does save in some areas, that's for sure.
does.
I love it. So as we're talking color drenching carpet, we're gonna do a little quick fire round.
Let's go.
And
I'm
so
ready.
this may take a little thought, but I want you to think quick, think on your feet. And
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you some questions. You don't have to get super specific. Like the first one I'm gonna ask you, you're probably gonna be like, I can't be too specific with this one. Anyways,
Okay.
First one, your favorite cabinet color at the moment. You don't have to be like say a specific color name, but favorite cabinet color.
That
go-to.
mossy, muddy green
Yep.
look right now.
Yep.
It just makes everything look so
Yeah.
expensive.
Oh yeah. I love the green.
I
I love like
love
that
it.
deep moody. I've been loving the deep moody colors right now. I'm like,
I'm
it's
vibing.
rich. It adds
Mhm.
some color. It adds some life. Okay, I love it. So next question: open floor plan or closed concept?
Oh, closed concept. Give me the walls.
Yep. Which is very controversial in the South too. People love that open
loves
kitchen
that open-
with an
yeah,
island looking
until
into the
you
living
can
room.
see 3 messes at one time.
Yeah,
Give me some
that is
walls.
very true.
I need to put some art up.
For our OCD people that don't want to see all the messes.
That's right.
they
Close the
just
door. Clean the
color it.
living room. You're fine.
Okay, I love it. Closed concept for Hillary. Dark cabinets. We're gonna color drench. We've got carpet in there.
Little leopard print.
Little leopard print. Okay, worst. This might hurt some feelings, but we're
Okay.
gonna go for it. It's
I'll
gonna
say.
be okay. People will forgive us.
I'll think.
Worst design trend
Oof.
in your opinion.
Oof.
This I know it'll probably be controversial. That's the one thing about design. It's so unique to each person.
I don't even know the name of them, but what are those
least
furry
favorite.
pillows? What-
Oh, like the really furry,
like the real furry, like
people would know
like,
what we're talking about.
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
no,
That
I
makes me
agree.
feel like somebody, a poodle, but
Yeah.
it's a poodle pillow.
With the long hair and the
I just can't
traps
get on board.
everything.
I
And,
can't
and
get on
then
board.
A lot of them too are white, and so I feel like if you have children, animals,
They're
husbands,
like
anything,
begging for Cheeto fingers.
yeah, I'm like, let's
No,
let's
absolutely not.
not. Okay, yeah, no, okay. So on the flip side of that, what is one either design risk that you'll always take, or one design trend that you always, or not necessarily trend, but a design element that you always want to incorporate?
Oh,
It could be risky. It could be a safe option. What's something you always love? Timeless Hillary signature.
I love me some wallpaper.
I do love wallpaper.
It's the Southerner in me.
Yep. The
I
Southern-
just love some wallpaper, and
Yeah.
I will put it in the weirdest places. I like it on the ceiling.
I do love it on the ceiling, and I feel like that goes back
Tiny
to
little
that, like,
bathroom, bold
that
paper.
color drenching kind of effect.
yeah.
It's like if you can do it with
Cozy.
wallpaper,
You feel like a hug in your
it's
room.
like a little powder bathroom, hey, it's fabulous. I love it all. But that kind of wraps us up for today.
This was cool. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here with us. People know now that they can call you for insurance jobs. I mean, golf carts.
Man, you can call me for
Lord of
anything.
mercy if they need a mural downtown.
My phone number's all over the internet. You can call me for just about anything.
Just about anything. Well, we're thankful that you're here, and
Thank you.
thankful for all of those. If their house throws them a curveball, that you can pick it up and catch it and
Call
and
me.
Make
I
a
will
plan
help you,
from
man.
there.
I will help you.
But
Take
yeah.
a deep breath.
Yeah, awesome. But thank you, and thank y'all for hanging out with us. If you've made it this far in the video, and stay tuned for our next fun little episode we have coming up in a few weeks.
Yay! Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching At Home with Anderson Design Center. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes, and we will see you on the next one.